Princess, you have had a very interesting life. You've met rock stars, politicians, you've known many, many people. And your life has been an adventure, and the press has followed you. What is it that makes you devoted to standing up from the family? From Verona to now, we've become friends. What is it about the family that has made you willing to stand up?
Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, I want to say hello. Buen día a todo mundo. Muchas gracias por este convido. Muchísimas gracias. When you love the family, it is a Christian thing. But not only the Christian, also the Muslim people love the family. So today, we are lucky because I can say I am lucky because I'm a Catholic. And in a Catholic family, my parents taught me to pray at the bed by saying good night, for lunch before we eat, and to go to church on Sunday. We did this in the family. And that's why my heart is for the family, because I can also see that the family is under attack. And because the family is under attack, we have to fight for the family.
Thank you. In Germany, it's not so easy to be someone who stands up for the family. I think that's probably a pretty big understatement. The difficulties you face are even stronger than the difficulties we face in the United States. But you seem fearless. You are willing to talk to the press. You're very open about your views. How have you handled the difficulties that you face in Germany and in Europe? I think on a broader level, if we talk about the family being under attack, the epicenter of this is in Europe. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's always very important that when you are for the family, that you never discriminate the ones that do not have a family. Who have not a family, we have to bring them into our family. For Christmas, for example, we always have somebody join who is alone. So, of course, to have a family is also a gift from God. Some people are not lucky. They didn't get that gift. They didn't find the right man, or the man didn't find the right woman. You have to have faith. And that's where I think the Catholic faith comes in, or any good faith to the Lord. You have to pray for the Lord, to the Lord, and if you want a family, the Lord will give you a family. And if you have this conviction, if you really believe in something, you can sell it, you can talk about it. You are not fearless. You are only with fear when you are not sure. When you are not sure about something, then you have fear. But when you are sure, you can go everywhere, and because you know that what you are saying is the right thing.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but it's okay to get into trouble, because you get into trouble too. You sent me a picture with Mick Jagger not too long ago. Do you ever talk about your views with folks that you know in all of these different spheres? You know so many different people, and does this come up? Are there discussions about your positions, or is it more behind the scenes?
I think that the people that are really big, like Mick Jagger or even Madonna and all those very famous people, they know exactly that having a family is the key to happiness. But sometimes they are the slave of their promoter, or they are the slave of the people that are around them that are maybe another ideology. So they have to be careful. But everybody in my life that I have talked to, everybody knows that to have a family is the biggest gift from God in the whole world. Even if they talk differently on stage or in politics, if you speak with people alone, the family, everybody has a mother, everybody has a father, everybody loves their family. And if they don't have a family, then they miss a family.
Well, this sounds like when
Thank you.
Yeah. Aquinas talks about the natural law being written on our hearts. This sounds like people know in their hearts that this is true, but you mentioned another word, ideology. And especially, as I was saying earlier, in Europe, we're seeing gender ideology, other ideologies seem to be taking over. But there's also good news. Can you talk a little bit about what your view is from a European perspective, the direction of Europe when it comes to family policies? For example, just to throw out there, what is happening in Hungary, some different points of light that we're seeing with some governments embracing more pro-family policies, and then on the reverse side, what the threats are.
Well, what I can say is that in Europe, the family is under very strong attack. Very strong. The governments, they don't want you to get married, and they are anti-children. You are supposed to be gay, or you are supposed to be diverse in a sense that you don't have anything at all. That's good, because basically the ideology is that we are too many people. They think the world has too many people. But this is a lie. There is a lot of evidence that the problem of the future is not enough people. And we can see this today. The number of births have gone down, not up. Even in India and Africa. I live in Africa 3 months of the year, and I can tell you that when I arrived in Africa 25 years ago, people had average 5 to 8 children. Today they have average 2 children. Africa. Now you don't read this in the newspapers because they don't want you to hear that. They want you to believe that having no children is better for the world than having children. This is totally crazy. So in Europe, in Europe we have to fight. We have to fight for the family. And that's why Mexico is so important, because Europe looks to Mexico. We love Mexico. We think Mexico is such a wonderful town and city. We love the whole country. Mexico is the #1 country in South America. Thank you. Yes, and they want the style, and they want to look like the Mexican. They love the Mexican culture. And that's why we think it's good, because you can look here and see, here the people still love the family. Here the people still have grandparents. And you don't shove your grandparents in an old people's home. Like in our country, that's what happens. So we have to fight very hard, and we have to pray very hard. There are only 2 countries in Europe, Hungary and Poland. They are the only Christian countries left. And they're getting strong pressure to drop the Christian faith, to adopt the culture of death. And that's a disaster. And if you look at the war, it's also ideology. They want to kill the country with the last Christian faith.
So you have become very close to Cardinal Mueller, and we're lucky and blessed that he came here. Cardinal Mueller has been very strong in the defense of the family, in the defense of the faith. Can you comment a little bit about your relationship and what you see Cardinal Mueller's position is in the church right now?
When Cardinal Mueller came to my town in Bavaria, Regensburg, he was a young man with 50 years. He came as our new bishop. And immediately the newspaper were writing badly about him. And I was reading the newspaper and I said, oh, if the newspaper writes badly about the new bishop, who is also a very handsome man, then he must be very good. Always. If the press writes badly, you know the person is good. If the press writes somebody is good, you know the person is bad. It's as simple as that. So I start reading the books from Cardinal Mueller, and I realized he's a very good man because he's not afraid to teach the faith, the Catholic faith. The Catholic faith is a secret key to happiness. It's as simple as that. If you really study what is in the Catholic faith, you realize, if I follow this road, I am going to have a successful life. Maybe not successful with money, but for successful with the heart, successful with love, successful with family. Thank you.
I know we are running a little behind and we need to go to Mass, but before we leave, do you have any other final thoughts?
Yes, I'm so happy I'm with you. I'm so very, very happy. Today is my mother has died 1 year ago, and today is the day of her death. So that's why I want to go to church, I want to pray. And I'm very lucky because today the Cardinal is saying Mass, and I have asked him, please take and pray for my mother. So thank you that you are here with me, and maybe we all will pray for the deceased souls of our families.
Thank you, Princess.
Goodbye.